The iPhone Air is Apple's newest addition to the iPhone lineup. It's their thinnest iPhone ever, and I did not expect to love it as much as I do. This is my 1 week later review of using the iPhone Air as my daily for the entire week. So starting off with that form factor. I mean, as soon as I unboxed this video, I unboxed it right here on the channel and gave my first raw impressions of this phone. I absolutely fell in love with it immediately for this form factor. How thin this phone is, sitting at 5.6 millimeters thick and only 165 grams in weight. This thing is absolutely incredible to use. Coming from a Pro Max user, I've had the 16 Pro Max, the 15 Pro Max, 14 Pro Max, all the Pro Maxes that have been out. I've always been the big phone person. I even have the 17 Pro Max right here in Cosmic Orange. Well, after using all that, going to the iPhone Air has just been a pleasure to use. It's been really nice to hold in the hand, super thin. You want to almost use it without a case. Now, you guys know I'm an accessory channel, so I don't do that. Cases and screen protectors all the way, but just using this phone, even with cases, has been so thin, so light. The phone itself is not a pinky destroyer. You guys know that's big for me. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to hold, to use, so much so that I have not even wanted to pick up my iPhone 17 Pro Max, even though that's the powerhouse. That's the top of the line iPhone that you can buy right now. I just keep going back to this. This has been in my pocket the entire time. So the form factor of this phone has just been one of the biggest deals to me. Now, this is going to be the only model that's made out of titanium on the sides. The new other phones, the 17 Pro and Pro Max, are all made out of aluminum. And you're also getting that really nice ceramic shield too on the front and the back of this phone. So you're gonna be able to get a good bit of durability. Now, a lot of people were always worried, will this phone bend? Here, just a little bit of a bend test for you right there. I'm not going crazy on it. Nobody's paying me to get a new phone or anything like that. But if you wanna see a really good bend test, make sure you guys go check out Jerry Rig Everything's video. That video, everybody was waiting for him to come out with that. We all thought he was gonna bend it and snap it in half, but I was shocked to see his results, as I'm sure he was as well. You know, that this thing did not bend, and it took a ton of pressure to bend it. So definitely make sure you guys check that video out if you haven't seen it already, because this thing is super, super durable. He's the guy on YouTube to check out for durability. But yes, this thing is going to be really durable. I've actually sat on it with a case on it. I haven't really used it without a case too much, but sat on it a couple times by accident. Haven't had any issues there whatsoever. Now, this is going to be IP68 dust and water resistant, so you're already getting even more durability there when it comes to just protection. You can kind of go swimming with this if you want to. You can use it in a dusty environment. Now, of course, don't recommend going swimming with it, but you can take it into water. It can get wet and it will be just fine, which is awesome. Especially for something this thin, it's awesome that they were able to put that IP68 rating on it. So Apple definitely did a really good job testing it, making sure that this phone is dust and water resistant up to the point where the other phones are as well. Now, just with the form factor alone, this design is very innovative. I've really been enjoying using it. It's not the same thing. Apple's kind of been a little bit stale lately. I'm sure you guys know, if you're an iPhone user, the 14, the 13, the 15, 16 Pro Maxes, they've also always kind of been the same thing, more or less, slight little design changes, slight little updates and upgrades. This phone is finally a new form factor. It's something exciting. It's something that I could not wait for this phone. Even when it came to the Pro Max, I could not wait to get this in hand, much more than I couldn't wait to get the iPhone 17 Pro Max in hand. And that goes to show, considering it has been in my hand and in my pocket the last week nonstop. I have not put my SIM in the 17 Pro Max since I've owned it. Now, with this design, there's a lot of speculation that Apple's gonna take this and make it into the foldable when next year or in a year after that. People are saying they may take two Airs and make it into one phone, and that's why they're testing this. Well, I'm all here for it. I cannot wait. If an iPhone Fold comes out and it's gonna be this thin, just two of these, I'm in. I'm all for it. But the form factor is honestly one of the biggest things that kept me gravitating towards this phone for this amount of time. I don't even know if I really want to go to my Pro Max. Will I? Most likely go switch to the iPhone 17 Pro Max because I am a Pro user, but this thing has definitely made me want to continue to use this phone. Now, just going around the phone real quick, if you guys haven't seen too many unboxings of it, you are, like I said, that ceramic shield, getting that on the front and the back. Going around the sides of the phone, you're getting that nice titanium going all the way around. And of course, it's the same basic stuff that you get on the other iPhones. action button, volume up and down. Here on the bottom, you are getting a USB Type-C port, which is slightly off center, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. I haven't noticed any cases or accessories, except maybe one or two really get in the way of that. No big deal. You are getting your two microphones right here. This is going to have only one speaker, which I've seen a ton of people talking about online, and they've complained about it, but we will definitely talk about that because it's not the hugest deal, and I'll tell you guys why. But your only speaker is going to be up here where the earpiece is. And then on the right-hand side of the phone, the same camera control button and your power button right there. Of course, I don't know if you guys use the camera control button. I personally don't really like it at all. Wish we didn't have it in the first place, but if you do use it, let me know in the comments below. So that's what the phone is going to look like, the build and the form factor. All around, it feels great in the hand. The build of it, the titanium, everything feels super, super premium no matter how thin this is. Now, let's go ahead and talk about that display. Now, this is going to be a 6.5-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. This is the same display that you are getting on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, this isn't going to be a comparison video between the Pro Max and the Air. There's a lot of those out there. In my opinion, this is not who that phone is for. That is not who this phone is for, I should say. But that is the same display you're getting. Yes, it's a little bit smaller. This one is 6.5 inches as opposed to the iPhone 17 Pro Max being 6.9 inches. But you're getting the same pixel density. It's going to be 460 ppi. You're getting 3,000 nits of peak brightness with this, which is the same as the 17 Pro Max, where outside using this thing, especially because it's got an anti-reflective display, has been a breeze. I went to an NFL game using it in the sunlight and actually turned dark while I was at that game. Using it in the sun had no problem. I was at the pumpkin patch yesterday with my family. You guys will see a couple pictures of that in a little bit, but no issues on a nice sunny day, on a cloudy day, none of that. The 3,000 nits brightness has been insane on this phone. Kind of shocking they can pack all of that into such a thin form factor. Now, one of the biggest deals is of course going to be that 120 hertz display that we get on here. Using this phone has been an absolute breeze. Like I said, I'm a pro user, so I've always been deterred from the phones that have been 60 hertz, the regular iPhones and the Plus in previous models, but ever since Apple updated the 17 series all the way across the board, including the Air, to 120 hertz, this thing has been awesome to use. I haven't noticed any lag, anything like that. As like I said, you can kind of see how the display is looking when we go back and forth. All of that, really no issues whatsoever. I haven't noticed any hiccups or anything like that when it comes to this display. Now, it's going to have the same A19 Pro chip in it, like the 17 Pro Max and the 17 Pro. However, this one is going to be more so built for efficiency as opposed to being such a powerhouse. But most people will not notice that unless you just go, and like I'm somebody who goes pretty hard on their phone. Like I use it for work all the time. I use it for YouTube, talking to you guys. I'm taking pictures all the time of my family, taking pictures of products. I'm always doing something. I'm on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, which by the way, make sure you guys do follow me there. All links are down in the description below. I'm always on there. You can reach me on there kind of well, and I'm also posting pictures and all that. But anyways, you know, using this for as much as I do, I was surprised that I was able to get the same level almost of power that I am, not like battery power, but as far as being a powerhouse that I am with the 17 Pro Max. I haven't really noticed any overheating. Of course, the first day when I got it, and that's one of those things, day one, sometimes into day two, you can't really gauge a phone by its battery life or by the performance, by the heat, because the phone is doing so much. You got to think, you're taking a brand new device out of it and you're loading all your information into it from your old phone. You're loading your pictures, your music, your text messages, your contacts, all different kinds of stuff. Any phone, even the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I hate to keep comparing these two phones, but it's just one of those things that you kind of sometimes have to do. Even this with the vapor chamber was getting a little warm on day one for me when I was setting all of my stuff up. Even though my SIM is not in this, these two phones are identical with the same amount of information in them. So that was even getting warm. So you can't really judge that on day one. So I started really judging it from day two, and I haven't had a single instance of this phone getting really warm on me. I'm constantly using it. Like I said, I'll show you guys some of the screen time later. And I mean, will it get not to necessarily be room temperature, a little bit warm? Of course, look at how thin this thing is. I mean, it's the form factor, it's basic physics. Of course, it's going to get a little bit warm, but it's never been uncomfortable. The top of it is where the main, brains of the operation are, where you have your camera and a lot of other important pieces in that camera plateau, to where that part got a little tiny bit warmer than the rest of the phone for a little bit. but it wasn't ever uncomfortable, scary, to the point where I had to put it down. No overheat warnings, none of that. So none of that really has been an issue for me, even though this does not have that same vapor chamber that the Pro Series does. So again, as a pro user, this isn't just, I'm not somebody who just, sends a couple texts, sets the phone down, goes away, comes back, picks it up, couple texts, little Instagram, little Twitter. No, I'm on this thing a lot, unfortunately. That's one of those things that, you kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, because you don't want to use the phone so much. But first of all, you sometimes have to because of work, but also you almost want to because of how this phone is and how it feels in the hand, and just how incredibly new everything is. It almost feels impossible that they can even put all of that into such an unbelievably thin phone. Now, talking about that C1X, that new modem from Apple, I've noticed me having better cellular network speeds, data speeds, as well as connectivity, where just for phone calls and text. I've noticed that a lot. And one thing I'll actually show you guys right here on the screen, I was on the highway in not a very, major city area, and I was getting these speeds. Now, of course, you're lacking the millimeter wave on here, but most people don't really even get to experience that. A lot of that is in big cities, major cities. My city has it. Yes, it does. And of course, you guys know my city, Baltimore. Let's go Ravens, baby. Had to drop that in here. I'm sorry. I'm so not sorry, though. But I do get millimeter wave on my Pro Max, on the 16 Pro Max, on the 17 Pro Max. Around my area, we do have it. But even without having that in this iPhone, you really don't notice it. I mean, I'm getting crazy download speeds. The speeds I'm getting from this phone are better than some people's network speeds in their home with their Wi-Fi. So you really can't complain with that. This has been great for uploading videos. I've uploaded a few shorts. I've answered comments, downloaded a bunch of stuff. None of that has been any issue whatsoever when it comes to this phone. So even though you're missing the millimeter wave, you're still getting really good speeds, and that's largely part of that C1X modem that Apple has on this phone. Now, part of that C1X also allows it, because of the better connectivity, doesn't drain as much battery as it does on previous models. I used to notice, as you guys can see, in my house, I used to always only get 1 bar. So now I'm also getting 2 bars, which is significantly better. As you guys know, when the differences between 1 bar and 2 bars can make a huge difference. But also, I'm not getting nearly as much battery drain with my phone, especially not on Wi-Fi, when I'm home or anywhere else that doesn't have the best service, because the phone's doing a little bit better with that C1X modem of getting cellular connectivity and better signal, so it doesn't have to use and drain as much battery to find that signal as it does with previous models. But that's a huge upgrade for me, especially because I don't get the best signal in my house. It allows for better connectivity, and that makes me really happy and extends my battery life. So that's also made the C1X for better efficiency in this phone. Now, talking about the camera on this phone, you're looking at a 48 megapixel fusion camera here. So you are lacking an ultra wide and a telephoto lens. This one will allow you to zoom up to 2x, of course, with optical zoom, but then the rest is going to be digital zoom. I believe it goes up to 10x on here. And what that basically does is just crops your image, so it's not going to look as good as it does on a different phone with an actual telephoto lens. But for most people, a lot of people don't necessarily use the ultra wide or the telephoto lens. Actually, very recently, Steven Robles did a video on the iPhone Air, which was a great video. Recommend checking that out. But he actually went into his iCloud and made a smart album that allowed you to see how many times you use the telephoto lens. Now, I haven't actually done that myself, but I recommend if somebody's interested in potentially getting this, watch his video and do that, because that'll really show you which lenses you're using so often. He does a great step-by-step breakdown of how to do that in that video. I use my telephoto lens. Did I miss it? Of course. Especially, I was recently at a Ravens game last week, and I did some zooming, and it wasn't as great. But again, not a lot of people do that. They don't really use the ultra-wide so much, or the telephoto. A lot of people click the camera control button, if you actually use that, or just swipe up, use your camera. They'll go, click the button, and use either 1x or 2x zoom, and that's it. You do, of course, have your 26mm and 35mm right there that you can switch. Of course, you can go to the 2x there, and a lot of people, that's most of the time what it is that they use right there. So not everybody's sitting there doing ultra-wide and zooming out or all of that. Now, turning around to the front of the phone, you are getting what's one of my favorite features, and I'll show you guys why in a second, is that new center stage square sensor camera. That thing is awesome. So what we can do is we can go ahead and go in here, and flip it to the front. Shout out to my camera right there. And you can go and you hit these options here. You get, of course, all these options right here, but you can also click that button here and it lets you change the auto zoom and the auto rotate right here. So I have both of mine off right now, but you can turn them on. You can either have it do it automatically or you can click this little button here. It'll just zoom out of the screen so you can fit more people in. Or my favorite feature is auto rotate. So this makes use of that square sensor and it allows you to use your phone in portrait mode, but record horizontal video in landscape mode. And speaking of that, let's actually go ahead and check out on release day of this phone. I put my SIM in it right away and I went to go pick up all 3 iPhone 17 Pro Max colors. I had the orange already, but I went to go get the other 2 colors and I recorded a little mini vlog on this phone. So let's go ahead and check that out real quick and see exactly how these cameras look and how they work in the real world. All right, guys, so we're gonna do something a little bit different this time. We're gonna actually take you along. I'm shooting this on the iPhone Air right now. I'm gonna take you guys along with me to the Apple Store to go pick up the blue and silver iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, right now, I actually do have the iPhone 17 Pro Max in orange. This is gonna be my main phone, but you know I gotta pick them all up, show you guys them on the channel. We're gonna use the iPhone Air to actually go to the Apple Store, check it all out, come back. I'll take you guys along with me. Let's go. So right now, pardon the shakiness of the video if there is some, I do not currently have a mount in my car for my phone. I actually recently took it out when I went on vacation with a rental and just still haven't even put it back yet. So for right now, what we're gonna do, this is the center stage camera. We're shooting 4K 30 on the iPhone Air. No additional microphones. This is the microphone right from the iPhone Air. And let's go ahead and go pick up this iPhone 17 Pro Max in the blue and silver. Now, as you guys know, the orange, let's just talk a little bit about the color. I just really wanted to do orange, man. I'm so tired of all these boring colors that Apple's been doing and all that. I decided, I was like, you know what? Let me just go pick that up. Will it look good with a lot of cases? I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, let's go ahead and go get those iPhones. I'm on my way. I got about a 20-minute ride right now. I'll show you guys a little bit. But like I said, this is that center stage camera. So my phone I'm holding in vertical right now in portrait mode, but you guys are seeing this in landscape, and that's awesome due to that square sensor. Pardon the car seat in the back. I know you guys see that. Don't worry about that. My little guy's not here with me, and I'm not actually looking at the phone itself. Sometimes giving a little glance like this, but the road is empty, really nobody here, just that car behind me. But yeah, guys, I'm just really excited to go pick these up, finally see these. I'm missing the fact that they did a black and the fact that they didn't do a black and they didn't do a white color. Kind of dumb in my opinion, but either way, let's show you guys how that all looks. So far, I don't know if you guys saw that little montage right there. Not really a montage, just the video of me driving with the music in the background. The camera's looking pretty good, to be honest with you. I mean, it's really not bad. Again, we're back on center stage right now, shooting 4K 30, and so far, everything is pretty good. Now, there's no ultra wide on this, which kind of sucks, but that's just what you expect. This isn't a pro level phone. This is just one of those things for the everyday consumer who just wants something lighter, something a little bit thinner, something that's just easy pocketable, which by the way, this thing feels really nice in the hand. It's super, super thin. Like, I was shocked, as you guys saw my unboxing video with the iPhone Air, it was pretty thin, and I was very much shocked at how thin it is and how very light it feels in the hand. Still, right now, it just feels like a toy, to be honest with you. But either way, just quickly about the iPhone Air, with the camera on the back, that 48 megapixel sensor, it looks really good. I mean, all the colors are looking good. Of course, there's a little bit of, the processing and everything, but all around, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. We're still driving there, gonna get there in about 10 minutes and go ahead and pick that up. And of course, I'll show you guys how all that looks and my experience going into the Apple store to go get the 17 Pro Max. All right, so finally at the mall. Let's go ahead and go get this iPhone. Now, you guys tell me, what do you think of this dual capture? So right now I'm showing you guys exactly what it looks like where I'm walking, but you can also see me on the screen here. It's pretty cool. It kind of sucks that you have to sit here. Hold on, let me cross between these two cars. Kind of sucks that you have to sit here and look at the phone and look at both angles, but it's also really nice because you can get your exact reaction of what it is that you want to do and where you're going. So not bad, but let's try not to get ran over by a car. Oh no, there's a fire truck here. Something's going on. Cops looking at me and stuff. All right, let's go and get into this this Apple store. All right, we got them. Got the 2 Pro Maxes, both 256. Got the blue, the silver. As you guys saw, the orange is back home. Let's go ahead, go home, unbox it, get back to the studio, turn on the camera, and show you guys what we're working with. Let's go. So as we can see, that is a really still good camera. It's going to be just fine for most everyday users. And I did forget to mention it, but this is going to be an 18 megapixel front-facing camera. So the camera's even upgraded from previous phones. Now let's talk about the battery and charging of this phone, which a lot of people are saying the battery is the Achilles heel of this phone. It's the one that's going to really make or break this phone. But to be honest with you, again, take a step back, zoom out with your center stage camera, zoom out for a second, and think about this. Who is this for? And we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video. But this is not for the content creator, the Pro Max user, the Pro user. It's not for the heavy person on their phone all the time, all day long. This is for your parents, your grandparents, your kids, your people who just don't really care. All they're gonna do is scroll social media a little bit, answer a few texts, take a few calls, do this and that. For example, yesterday I was on an Instagram phone call for an hour and this handled it just fine. The battery drain wasn't insanely crazy, low or anything like that. Everything was fine. I'm consistently getting between 5 and 5.5, a little bit over sometimes, which as you guys can see right here in this picture, 5.5, 5 hours, 40 minutes of screen on time with some screen idle time as well, which isn't bad. I'm somebody who is around chargers all the time. As you guys know, I run an accessory channel on YouTube, so I got a ton of battery packs, MagSafe chargers, all that. But even the regular person, think about it. You're going to your office, you're in your car, whether you're using Bluetooth with a charger, whether you're using Apple CarPlay, you might have a charging stand, a charging mount in your car, like a Qi 2 charger or something like that. You may be able to use any of that stuff. Get to your office, plug it in, no problem, or set it on the charger. You may have a battery pack with you, which also Apple sells their MagSafe battery pack that's now only compatible for the Air. And by the way, everything you see online about this is wrong. This is not the same as a regular MagSafe battery charger. I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for that, but just hear me out. This is an extender. It is not a charger. I made a video on the original Apple MagSafe battery pack talking about it. The new one is the same way. This is going to be an extender. The way this works is you're going to put it on your phone when your phone is around like 85 to 90%. You're going to get a pop-up the first time you use this on any of your iPhones. It's going to say this will keep your phone at 90% charge. Why? Why is it that this is only charging it to 90%, but others will charge it to 100? because this is an extender. You're gonna put this on, it'll get your phone to 90, and then it's gonna stop using your phone's battery. It's gonna use this battery, all while keeping your phone at 90%. And then once this battery dies, then it'll start using your iPhone's battery. Let me see if I can get that pop up here. Let's see, there we go. As you guys can see, this is what it's gonna look like right there on the phone. I am at 63% on my phone right now, but I've already gotten that pop up, which I'll show you guys here on the screen what that looks like. But either way, you're just using it wrong. People are using it wrong. Like I said, might get a lot of heat for it, but that is the honest truth with this MagSafe battery pack. So even if you're somebody who does get a lot of battery usage out of your phone, you can get this, take it. I know it's not necessarily ideal, but if you know you're gonna have a heavy usage day, when you take your phone off the charger, put this on. This is smart. It's gonna drain your battery a little bit down to that 90, like I said, and then it's gonna use this. The link will be down in the description below where you can go pick one up. But either way, battery has not been a huge issue. Again, I am a pro user, so I do want better battery life, but I'm not the target audience necessarily for this phone. Yes, I got it. It's novelty right now. A lot of tech creators and everything are getting it because it's the newest thing. It's something very different, so everybody's picking it up, and I love to see that. But make sure you are looking at it as a regular consumer. If you take a step back, look at that way, and that'll really get to show you that this is really good for most people. Now, the worst part for me, which isn't even the biggest deal, because again, most people who get this are just charging it overnight, is the charging speeds. It's gonna only be capped at 20 watts wireless and wired charging. So you're not gonna get the full, whatever, 40 watts or 35 watts that the 17 Pro Max is able to give you. But again, most people, they're getting home or they're getting to their office, they're putting this on the MagSafe charger or they're plugging it in, and that's what they're gonna charge it. But most people, like I said, charge it overnight. So you're gonna plug it in and it doesn't matter what the charging speed is because you're gonna wake up to 100% anyways, unless you're sleeping for 10 minutes. You're gonna wake up for 100% battery life, even if you sleep for 2 hours, for example. You had a crazy late night, got an early flight in the morning, plug it in. After 2 hours, you should be just about at 100%. But again, most people plug it in, go to sleep, wake up 100% good to go for the remainder of their day or till they get back home from work, all that. This will be more than enough. So B, after all that is said and done, after the whole review, after the week of usage is over, what are your thoughts? Well, my thoughts are this phone is incredible. I did not expect it. You guys saw in the title of the video, I did not expect to love this thing so much. And I'm honestly sitting here before even shooting this video contemplating, do I even want to switch right now to my 17 Pro Max? Do I want to stay on the iPhone Air? The answer is, will I probably switch to the iPhone 17 Pro Max? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Yes, I will. I need those cameras. I need the powerhouse. But for most people, this is going to be more than enough. For the average everyday consumer that's going to walk into the Apple store and buy a phone and just use that phone, keep it for a year or two, maybe even 3, this will be more than enough for that. So the price on it, let's talk about that. Compared to the base model, I do wish it was a little bit less because you are missing that camera. You are missing the battery life from the base model. The base model is $799, whereas this is $999 for the base storage level. But for the innovation, for the titanium is a much more expensive material, by the way, than aluminum is. For the ceramic shield 2 all the way on the back of it is completely glass, the front of it is completely glass, whereas the Pro Max is all aluminum, where you just have this back glass here and the glass on the front. The rest, sides and back, the camera bump, all that is aluminum besides the camera lenses. You're getting a completely titanium and glass phone here. So that's a more expensive material right there. You're also going to be getting that thinner form factor of new chip in here that's not on the other phones that they do have to do, which is that C1X. You're going to have that in here. So all around, I understand why this is priced the way it is. Do I wish it was priced lower? Of course. But I do understand that that may not be possible, and especially because they're trying to test this to get into the next fold. The new fold, as we know, is probably going to be pretty up there in price. I'd be shocked if it was $2,000 or less. I'm thinking $3,000 probably. Of course, I don't know anything. Who am I? But I'm just saying the price on this, yes, I wish it was lower, but it's going to be fine, especially if you're someone who keeps your phone for a couple of years. Get it? I think you guys will really like it. Now, talking about that speaker, another huge Achilles heel in the tech community. Let's be honest here. How many of you guys listen to music in the car where you plug it in, whether CarPlay or Bluetooth, wireless or, wired, whatever? Also, how many of you guys have AirPods or any other earbuds or over-ear headphones or Bluetooth speakers? Not many people are listening to music specifically or anything crazy audio-wise on these speakers. You might scroll through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the reels, the videos, cool, YouTube. This is plenty enough for that. The only gripe that I have with the speaker is that it rattles a little bit at full volume. But again, I don't really ever use my phone at full volume. When I'm sitting watching TikTok or Instagram reels, my phone's at maybe half volume, 3/4 tops. I'm not a menace that's just going to sit here and play full volume my TikTok or Instagram videos. So that's that. But yes, it rattles a little bit, but it's not the biggest deal because of all the different other audio solutions that you can get that, whether cheap or expensive, they will all work fine. It has Bluetooth connectivity. So earbuds, like me, I have AirPods in my ears almost all the time. So this really has not been a big deal at all. Phone calls sound fantastic on it. Other people say they hear me great. I sound very good on there. So that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. So who is this phone for? Like I said, this is going to be for the everyday regular phone user, not the content creators. You're not shooting in log with it. You're not using ProRes RAW. You're not using any of that. You're just point and shoot cameras, everyday user, regular battery life who doesn't necessarily need that super crazy powerhouse that the iPhone Pro Series is. All that being said, I've been loving the iPhone Air. I really want to stay on it. I don't know if I will, but I will definitely be coming back to it, and it's not going to just get set down and not used anymore. I'm going to use this thing all the time, even if my main SIM isn't in it, at home especially, using this for content, for all that. The screen looks beautiful. Everything is great. I'm super, super happy with the iPhone Air. So that's been my 1 week later review of the iPhone Air. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the iPhone Air. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. That goes a really long way for me. It allows me to make these videos for you. We are almost at 10,000 subs. I would love to see that happen within the next month or two. If you guys loved the video, if you guys liked it or enjoyed it, you want to see any accessories whatsoever, I have everything coming. Everything I can get my hands on, I'll be reviewing for you guys. So make sure you get subbed up for that. But if you guys want to see my original unboxing, my first time seeing it, and first impressions of the iPhone Air, I'll leave that video right here. If you guys want to see my unboxing of all 3 iPhone 17 Pro Max colors, that video is right here.